Well, I think that you want to get some momentum going into the postseason, so it's not as if these games are completely meaningless. As a competitor and as a baseball player, you still are going to come out there every single day and give it your all. Especially heading into the postseason, guys want to find their groove at the plate. Guys want to have a positive mindset going forward. And I think that for this Oilman team, again, their offense has been sputtering of late, so they're going to really need to get back on the right track at the plate in order for them to be able to look to have any success in the postseason this year. So it's going to be some significant at-bats for the Oilmen in the following week just for guys to try to get themselves right up at the plate. And then the starting pitching, has been good all year long. We have Justice going today. He's struggled in his previous few outings. He just really needs to cut down on his walk numbers more than anything. Justice, he needs to look to get ahead of players early. First pitch strikes is going to be a big key today for Brian Justice on the mound. But if he's able to do that, I look to see him have some success against this struggling Viking offense. But I think the Oilmen are going to need to score some runs as, again, they've been pretty much lackluster, to say the least, offensively over the course of the last few ball games. In that pregame interview you had with Coach Enright, again, you hear him say, you can't hide from the players where they're at in the standings. But again, he knows that these guys need to get some good at-bats going here late. Well, yeah, I think this team knows that they're an extremely talented bunch. Again, you don't have to look any further than the beginning of the season to know that they have the ability to be a really successful ball club. So again, although they have struggled of late, it's only a matter of time for them to come out of it, and I'm sure they'll look to have that success in the postseason. Yeah, leadoff walk, great at-bat by Straczynski for the first at-bat of the game. Fouled off a couple pitches, worked the count, able to draw a leadoff walk, and now Donovan Chandler, the left fielder here today, will be up next. We'll see if Coach Enright is going to look to have Donovan bunt Straczynski into scoring position, although Straczynski has the speed to be able to steal the bag too. So, yeah, that ball was sinking right off the bat. Haver just did a really nice job aggressively attacking the ball. Took a few steps in, slid, and was able to scoop the ball before it was able to reach the surface of the ground. Yeah, again, the kid just has tremendous speed. He's been a staple of the Oilman offense at the top of the order all year long. And now a runner in scoring position. We'll see what Wood can do here. And that's the fortunate thing with having Straczynski at the top of the order. Although I was anticipating Chandler bunting him over, you don't need to sacrifice an out when you have the speed that Straczynski has. He's able to just steal the bag on his own. Yeah, early scoring chance again. The Oilmen need to look to capitalize here. Olin's going to have to do some situational hitting, do anything but hit it to one of the middle infielders, which would give them an opportunity to turn two and end the inning without allowing a run to score. So, again, you can't squander early scoring chances, and the Oilmen have one with runners on the corners now with one away in the first. Yeah, that's a great awareness by Brad Wood. A lot of times runners are taught that when you see a catcher go down to block the ball, if you have the speed, run. And that's exactly what Wood did in that situation. Again, that's a nice job. Oland hit the ball to the deeper part of the hole, to the shortstop's right-hand side. And this field, not the best conditions for playing, took a funny hop on him. And again, the Oilmen able to strike first here now in the first inning. And Belmonte, a dangerous hitter, coming up to the plate next. And while the Oilmen were able to get one run across here already, with the lack of run production that they've had over the course of the last few games, you would like to see, again, with two runners still on first and second, with two away, them to be able to get another run across and put up a crooked number. Yeah, the guy with a 4.50 ERA pitching today where the Oilman offense has been struggling, they're going to need to really look to be aggressive and try to do some damage. Yeah, Justice is a kid who does have a lot of talent, but the location and the command has just been a little bit off so far this season for the Oilmen. And again, you never want to walk the leadoff man in the game. The pitcher Prickett for the Vikings did so with Straczynski, and Straczynski was able to come around to score, so you see right away what kind of threat that can pose. Yeah, great job to be able to come back on a 3-1 count and make a pitch that Avila was only able to pop up into the right field gap, and Oland able to easily range over and make the catch for the first out of the inning. Yeah, which makes it a lot more difficult on the players. Again, just in the aspect that it's draining to be out on the field in that sun and the humidity. But the Oilmen have played well in doubleheaders so far this year. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. Josh has quietly become one of the better hitters on this team, and especially being able to reach base any way he can. Yeah, especially in this wood bat league, where it's just a lot more difficult for guys to get on base via base hits.
Don't see a lot of long balls or hits off the wall in this league.
Right, exactly. And you see a lot of easy outs, but again, that just all is a product of playing with the wooden bats. But Turnock is able to do, whatever it takes to get on base as the next pitch is taken outside for a ball. Another really good at bat to start off the inning for the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. Turnock working the count, fouling off some pitches. Again, he does a really nice job of spoiling pitches that pitchers try to use to get him out, just to get another pitch to be thrown to him so he can get something that he likes and something that he can really do some damage with. Again, that's a mark of a good hitter, just being able to foul off pitches that are close in the strike zone. Again, just so you can get another pitch and hope that the pitcher will make a mistake and leave something over the middle of the plate. That's just an awesome, just a tremendous at-bat by Josh Turnock right there. Fouling off pitches, just spoiling the pitches that the pitcher wants to make to try to get you out. Prickett left one over the middle of the plate, and Turnock was able to turn on it and absolutely crush it over the right field fence for a home run in the second run of the game for the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. Yeah, we've seen some good at-bats from the Oilmen early in this game, which is really good to see, coming off a day where the last 17 batters in the game were sent down. Yeah, the difficulty yesterday was just that there weren't any opportunities for the Oilmen to manufacture runs. Like we said, the last 17 batters in the game were retired consecutively for Northwest Indiana. So they didn't have any runners on base to be able to manufacture anything as Prickett winds and delivers. Yeah, tough play in the hole for King there. Just didn't field it on the bounce that he wanted. Had to catch it, plant, and throw pretty much all in one motion off his back foot, and just wasn't able to get enough on it to get it all the way to the first baseman, Stevens, in time. Yeah, and especially when you're struggling yourself. But, again, you need to approach it with the right attitude and not let it, overcome you. You need to stay within yourself. You need to not try to press when you're in a funk. You need to just, work through it and allow yourself to, maintain your confidence and be able to come out of it with getting a couple big hits in the game. If you start pressing when you're struggling, the struggles will most likely only get worse. But Seymour, a guy, I talked about it yesterday, who's vying for a starting role going into the playoffs. So he's going to have some big at-bats here in the coming weeks. Yeah, it's tough. Again, I'm very surprised that Seymour wasn't given the sacrifice sign from Coach Enright after he attempted to on the previous pitch. Again, with only one strike, I think you still try to bunt in that situation until you get 2 strikes. Yeah, Srozinski's a guy you really want to see maintain the success that he's had at the plate this year, especially here late with the Oilmen offense struggling. But again, he's been a staple at the top of the order for the Oilmen all season long. Just a great hitter. Again, got tremendous speed, an exceptional athlete, and a guy that you have a lot of confidence in when he comes up to the plate. Yeah, one away now for Brad Wood. With the bases loaded, he's going to have an opportunity to really put the Oilmen out in front here early. But again, Chandler, a really nice at-bat there. Fouling off a couple pitches, working the count, drawing the walk. It's good to see the Oilmen being patient up at the plate here today. Yeah, really nice piece of hitting there by Brad Wood. Just able to turn and get every bit of that ball thrown by Prickett as he crushed it in between the third baseman and shortstop and drove it into the outfield. And again, Srozinski with the tremendous speed, able to come around all the way from second base and score. A pitcher and a catcher, the battery relationship is very important because, again, the pitcher needs to have confidence in the catcher and really know that he can throw any one of his pitches at any point in time and know that the catcher is going to be able to keep it in front of him, frame it the right way. I'd like to see the Oilmen offense here today showing some patience for the first time in quite some time. They're taking some pitches, seeing the ball really well, working deep counts. Yeah, when you're playing this Vikings team and Cody Haver is playing center field, a lot of times you see balls hit out there. Cody, a kid that I played with in high school, he's just a tremendous defensive player and has unbelievable range out there in the outfield. So balls that are hit into the gaps, a lot of times that would be base hits, otherwise are run down and caught by Cody Haver. Yeah, no better time than right now for Belmonte to gain a little separation from those other two players for the league lead in RBIs. Yeah, again, when you see the Oilmen offense playing the way that it is today and showing that patience up at the plate and hitting the ball hard to all parts of the field, it pretty much erases your memory of when they've struggled because you see the talent that this team has. So, again, it's good to see them early having a really good start to this game. But, yeah, Justice with a 4-run lead now has the ability to be aggressive with his stuff and really be able to challenge these hitters. So a good situation for him coming into the second inning. Yeah, really nice pitch again after losing control of the previous 3 pitches and burying all of them into the dirt. Justice came back with a really nice hard inside fastball that Haver just wasn't able to get his hands around quickly enough on as he swung through for the first out of the second inning. Yeah, and Adams, for a bigger kid, can really move well. He was hustling down that line and quick enough to be able to reach the base before Seymour was able to recover the ball. So he's on here with one away for the next hitter, the designated hitter, Chris Bacallis. Yeah, absolutely. Again, I talked in the last half inning about Cody Haver's ability to run down balls. Tyler Strozinski, absolutely in that same bracket. Again, his tremendous speed allows him to be able to cover a lot of ground, and he's just such a tremendous athlete. That was a really impressive play. Flashing the leather out there in center field, Strozinski makes a really nice sliding catch right at the fence to record the second out of the inning here for the Oilmen. And now a runner in scoring position with 2 away for the hitter, Cardenas. Adams, again, moves really well for a bigger guy and for a catcher, able to get the late steal. Turnock, I'm sure, disappointed, too, that he wasn't able to get a throw off. Yeah, absolutely, but pitching a key aspect, especially when the threat of rain is what it is in Northwest Indiana, produces a grind the latter half of the season as Prickett winds and delivers high for ball 1. But, yeah, pitching, again, a big part of the Midwest Collegiate League, and the Oilmen have been fortunate all year long to have tremendous starting pitching and a quality bullpen to go along with it as well. But, yeah, the Oilmen pitching staff, the starting pitching this season, with Mailer, Zamora, Murray, and Skiff being the primary go-to guys. I mean, that's a strong 4, and they've given you a lot of quality innings, a lot of quality starts. And you see on a day like today, as Prickett delivers high for ball 1, you see on a day like today that the Oilman offense has the ability to produce some big run days. And when you combine that with the starting pitching that the Oilmen have, you see why this team is a legitimate contender for the championship this season. Yeah, very surprised to see Turnock rounding the base as hard as he was and chugging for third base, but a great aggressive slide by him. Might have caught the third baseman Cardenas' hand a little bit as he was shaken up on the play. But you see the Oilmen being aggressive here today. And again, when your offense is having the early success that they are, you like to see that as Tony Sanchez takes a slow stroll out to the mound to have a conversation with his pitcher, Mitch Prickett. They do have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen, but I really can't imagine intentionally walking the 9-hitter in the order to turn it over to the top of the batting order with the bases loaded. It's just a very peculiar move by the manager, Tony Sanchez. Yeah, with only 1 out in the inning, I mean, they're clearly going to play for a double play. But again, with Strozinski's speed, it would be almost impossible to turn a double play. And again, I can't imagine ever walking the 9-hitter intentionally to get the batting order turned over for the top of the order with the bases loaded. Yeah, Strozinski, a top 5 hitter in this league. I don't know. I don't understand the thought process there. But it worked out in the Oilmen's favor, and they'll take another run of support as I'm sure Justice is sitting with a big smile on his face in the dugout right now. Yeah, Cody Haver, just a savvy defensive player, knows the game of baseball really well. When you know you don't have a play at the plate, you don't want to allow the other runners to move up 90 feet. So he smartly threw the ball into the relay man and kept the runners parked at first and second base, now with 2 away for the hitter, Brad Wood. Yeah, nothing you can do on that play for the left fielder Lane, again, as the ball must have hit a divot in the ground or something, as it did not take a normal bounce. It hopped up on him, and that split second that the ball was in the air gave Seymour, the runner, just enough time to be able to round third base and come home safely. Yeah, Chandler, he's not the biggest guy on the team, so offensively you don't expect a whole lot out of him. But defensively, he's absolutely as good as you can be as an outfielder. I mean, his ability to track the ball off the bat is second to none. And he has a pretty good arm, too, surprisingly, again, for not being the biggest kid. Justice cruising through this first few frames, allowing a base runner here to start off the inning, but still looks comfortable out on the mound. Yeah, again, a nice job by Justice. Now with a 7-run lead, can really be aggressive with his stuff and try to challenge the top of this Viking batting order. But it's no surprise to see Justice so comfortable on the mound at this point. He did really well through the first 2 innings, and with a 7-run lead and a great defensive team behind him here today, can't help but feel confident. 2-2 now, the count on Kendall King. Only 1 strikeout on the day for Justice, so we'll look to see what kind of pitch he's going to go with here for a put-away pitch to try to retire the shortstop for the Southland Vikings. Yeah, Justice and the shortstop, Wood, presumably not on the same page, as again, Wood has gone back to cover the bag several times, leaving the shortstop position vacated. Not something you want to do as a defensive player. Belmonte, another guy you really want to be able to see stay in his groove at the plate. Again, he's been one of the most consistent players for the Oilmen offense all season long. And a nice drive to right field, just taking the outside fastball right where it was thrown and parking it right over into the right field for a leadoff single here to start off the 4th. There are a couple guys who are definitely still at this point making their cases to be in the starting lineup, and there are going to be a few departures of players on this team prior to the postseason simply because of travel plans that were prior made and having to get back to school. So it'll be interesting to see. That's pretty spot on right there. Again, the fortunate thing with this Oilmen team, a lot of versatility amongst all the players, so you can really mix and match defensively where you want guys to play, but you know the bats that you want to have in the lineup. Quite a few guys in this Oilmen lineup having really good days at the plate. We now have 3 guys that have been on base all 3 times in Strozinski, Wood, and Turnock. Yeah, again, now Geraci in the conversation for having been on base all 3 times, although he and Brad Wood are the only 2 that have reached base all 3 times via base hits. Turnock just showing his exceptional ability at the plate in this ball game. But Brad Wood on the day, 3 RBIs already in the ball game. So as of right now, those 2 are competing for Hoosier Bat honors. Elsewhere in the Midwest Collegiate League right now, the DuPage Hounds able to strike first in the 7th inning, taking a 1-0 lead over the Joliet Admirals. Yeah, only 1 base runner allowed through the 3 frames that Brian Justice has been on the mound. So a really good day for him so far, as he'll be going up against the 3, 4, 5 hitters to start off this 4th. Justice made a really nice pitch on 2-0 there, pulled the string on a changeup. Yeah, definitely a positive sign to not have Justice be surrendering any walks in this game up to this point. But again, when you do have a significant lead like Justice does on the mound, you don't have to be quite as nitpicky on the corners. You can really, again, just challenge the hitters. So Justice wasting no time and going right after this Viking lineup here today. Again, a really nice day for baseball here. Fortunate for us to be in the shade. I gotta imagine it's pretty hot out there in the sun this afternoon. Yeah, and again, that's only the third base runner allowed here today for Justice. So he's done well, but now the third baseman Cardenas coming up to the plate with an opportunity to give the Vikings their first run of the day. A nice pitch, Justice. Burying an 0-2 curveball in the dirt. Turnock did a really nice job keeping it in front of him, but definitely a strikeout pitch that had Cardenas looking and thinking about it. So now again on 3-2 with 2 away, the runners will get a head start. Big pitch upcoming for Justice if he wants to try to secure the shutout through 4. Yeah, it's tough. Turnock, one of the better defensive catchers for the Oilmen, needs to put the squeeze on that ball because, again, you never want to give the opposing team life or an opportunity. Back at Hat Bruno Field on this sunny Saturday afternoon, it's the Vikings and the Oilmen, and the Oilmen on top currently in the ball game, 8-0 here entering the top of the 5th inning. The Oilmen will send up to the plate Chandler, Wood, and Oland, respectively in that order, to start off the inning. Chandler, a walk and a sacrifice fly on the day, flied out in his first at-bat. Wood, again, with 3 hits on the day already, and 3 RBIs to go along with that as well. So this top of the Oilman batting order has done a really nice job here today against the Vikings pitching staff. Yeah, absolutely. Justice, again, the starting pitcher here this afternoon for the Oilmen, doing a very nice job in this ball game. Again, only allowing 4 base runners, or 3 base runners, actually through 4 innings of work. So really doing a nice job as the first pitch from Henderson is delivered low for ball 1 to the hitter, Donovan Chandler. Chandler, an Andrean High School graduate, a teammate of mine, as Henderson winds and delivers the second pitch that is grounded to the third baseman, Cardenas, who throws on to first base and is able to retire Chandler for out number 1 here in this inning. Wood, the first pitch is driven out to right field. The right fielder, Jones, able to range over and make the catch for the second out of the inning. Yeah, Brad Wood, 3 hits on the day, just looking to be aggressive in that situation, and just got underneath it a little bit to hang up there long enough for Jones to make the catch as the first pitch is delivered low to Oland for ball 1. The next pitch delivered is sliced foul off to the right by Oland. The count now 1-1 here in the 5th inning with 2 away. Oland's going to step back into the box, brush off the plate. Really nice hit out to left field. The left fielder not going to be able to reach it as Oland is going to be digging for second base. And he's rounding the base, and he's heading for third. There's going to be a play at third base, but not in time as Oland is able to make it there standing up. A stand-up triple for Oland. Makes it his first hit on the day, and good to see Oland getting back into the swing of things with a nice piece of hitting right there, as, again, you just mentioned it, he has been struggling of late. A really nice piece of hitting, a line shot into the left center gap for an easy 3-bagger. And now Belmonte up to the plate as Henderson kicks, winds, and delivers high for ball 1. Belmonte, again, one of the staples of the Oilman offense all year long, been extremely consistent, an exceptional hitter. Henderson delivers. Belmonte grounds to the shortstop, who does not field it cleanly but is able to throw it in time to get Belmonte retired at first base. So down go the Oilmen through 5 innings of play now. The score 8-0 Northwest Indiana Oilmen over the Southland Vikings on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Radio Network. Back at Hat Bruno Field as Justice delivers the first pitch of the inning for strike 1 to the batter, Quincy Jones. The Vikings this inning will send to the plate Jones, Lane, and Avila, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. here today as the second pitch is delivered for strike 2, a nice bending curveball on the inside corner of the plate. As the next pitch is swung through for strike 3, Quincy Jones is retired on 3 straight pitches, and Justice has his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon here, and 1 away now here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Justice, again, looking strong here this afternoon. First pitch is taken outside for ball 1 from Justice to the hitter, Jacob Lane. Lane, the left fielder here this afternoon, as Justice rocks and fires. And the ball appeared to be tipped at the plate. We didn't get a call from the home plate umpire, so we'll have to see. The count now 1-1 as the umpire, Mike Clay, gives us the call. Justice sets and delivers. Foul ball back to the backstop, so the count now 1-2 to the hitter Lane. Justice comes set, deals low, check swing, and he is called out on strike 3. A check swing by the hitter Jacob Lane sends down the second Viking of the inning via a strikeout. Yeah, nice pitch on a 2-strike count as the batter now, Luis Avila. First pitch taken inside and low for ball 1. Avila, the leadoff man here today, 2 flyouts on the day. So Justice, again, doing a really nice job not allowing the top of this Viking order to reach base as the second pitch is taken inside and low and it gets away from Turnock back to the backstop. So 2-0 the count now on Avila. Justice going to need to look to be aggressive and come back here probably with a heater, I would imagine, again on a 2-0 count. He winds and delivers high for ball 3. 3 straight balls to the hitter Avila following 2 strikeouts to the 8 and 9 hitter. The next pitch taken low in the zone for strike 1. The count now 3-1 on the hitter Avila. Nice pitch by Justice, low in the zone, able to locate as he winds and delivers. And Avila cracks one into the right center gap. Olin's going to give chase and reach it for out number 3. Justice sends down the side in 1-2-3 fashion as 2 strikeouts and a flyout conclude the 5th here at Hat Bruno Field. We'll be back after this short break on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Radio Network. Yeah, tough at bat there. Tough location to hit that ball for Fred Smart. Off the bat, it looked like it was going to be able to make it into right field for a base hit, but not enough mustard on it as it bounced in front of the second baseman, Avila, out there, and he was able to catch it on one hop, make a nice turn and throw to first base to retire Smart. Again, Smart, one of the few Oilman hitters here this afternoon, unable to reach base. In this latter half of the season, though, I've really enjoyed getting to watch Josh Turnock as he quietly has become one of the best hitters on the team. Absolutely, and again, his plate discipline is exceptional. His approach is tremendous. He's just a really fun guy to watch hit. Able to come around and score twice on those 3 hits. So Geraci having a really nice offensive day, as is this whole Oilman team. But yeah, again, it's just really good to have a day like today for the Oilmen, especially coming off a couple really tough offensive outings for the team. It's just good to see them be able to have some success here today, and it's important for a lot of these players and their confidence going forward to have them get some good wood on the ball and be really driving the ball as the first pitch to Seymour is taken high for ball 1. But it's just important, again, for these guys to get their mindset right, and an offensive day like today can definitely get you back into the swing of things. Yeah, Seymour popped out in his first at-bat, walked, came around to score in his second at-bat, and drove in a sacrifice fly, RBI, in his 3rd plate appearance. But in his last plate appearance, that sacrifice fly, he got a good piece of wood on it, so we'll see what he does here. Great piece of hitting right there by Brian Seymour on a 3-1 count. You're sitting on a fastball, and he got it, able to turn on it and crush it down the left field line for a double and an RBI, his 2nd RBI on the day. Really nice to see Brian be able to get a good piece of wood on the ball. Yeah, 10-0 favor now for the Oilmen as the next hitter will be Donovan Chandler, the left fielder here this afternoon. But Srozinski crushed that ball into center field just over the mitt of the leaping center fielder, Cody Haver. But that ball was tattooed off the bat with Tyler Srozinski. And again, nice to see him going here today, again with 3 hits on the afternoon. Yeah, you see a lot of hitters in this league wearing those shin guards. Again, that's one of the most painful things that can happen on a baseball field, is fouling one of those balls up at the plate off the inner half of your leg. Stevens, though, climbs back into the batter's box on an 0-1 count. This Oilmen outfield that is out there today in Chandler, Srozinski, and Oland, just an exceptional bunch. All great athletes, guys that can cover a lot of ground. So not seeing a whole lot of balls in the air get down here this afternoon. 2 tough pitches there to the batter, Haver. Great pitches by Justice. Again, just locating on the outside corner, low enough in the zone at the knees to be called strikes. And Cam Adams does have one of the 3 hits on the game this afternoon for the Southland Vikings. So Justice not quite out of the woods just yet with this Vikings team. Yeah, important victory today for the Northwest Indiana Oilmen again. Following a couple tough offensive days, nice to see the Oilmen being able to come out on the opposite side of a lopsided game, victorious here this afternoon in Game 1 of the doubleheader. So, yeah, big win, important win for the team, just to be able to get some momentum going and not be sputtering the way that they have offensively over the course of the last few ball games.